never had it easy for the brands and the bling and the expensive thing. Oh, I never had the money, never had nice living. And mama say, oh, you could have it all, just work hard for yours. I say, mama, you know I work hard for sure. Now God bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I could drink champagne when I thirst. Now I could see only thing I never see. They say this how I eat man so long. But I thank me for the run my family. No, no bad mind boy, they can stop me. And every show I smiling cause trust me, life is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, I'm far from finished, boy. Love the life that I live in. See all the thing I never see. They say this how I get man so lucky. But I thank me for the run my family. No, no bad mind boy, they can stop me. And every show I smiling cause trust me, love is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, far from finished, boy. Love the life that I live in. I say na 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 na, I say na 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 na, say na 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 na, I say na na na, I say na na now every little thing that I have, man, I'm thankful for. Oh, and I don't chase material thing 'cause I come from far. Oh, so every little thing that you have, be grateful for. And we don't chase material thing, material thing. No, 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 no. And I'm far from finished, boy. I'm so far, and I can't believe it, no. And I can't believe it.
Greetings, 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 and salutations, one and all.
Love the life that I live in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele. It's Community and Finance Night. I want to thank you all for tuning in.
I never had it easy for the brands and the bling and the expensive thing. Oh, I never had the money, never had nice living. And mama say, oh, you could have it
I
all.
want to say big ups to each and everyone who are locked in from near, from far.
Oh, I look out for sure.
Those on tuning radio on the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele.
It's a fly country to country.
Welcome, welcome.
Drink champagne when I thirst. Now I can see.
Those hailing from across the pond.
They say this how
Top of the morning to you guys over there in the UK, One Harmony Radio.
family. No, no bad mind boy, they can stop me. And every show I smiling cause trust me, life is so lovely, boy.
Those locked in out to New York, exhibiting the power of music on Ireland worldwide.
Believe it, no.
Blessings to you.
See, I'm far from finished.
Much love, China Nicole, Gear, and the Jump Out production crew.
I say na 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 na.
King Genius and Queen Genius over there in the UK.
Say na 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 na. I say na 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 na.
Much love to those out of New Jersey, locked in on NIE Radio with New Jersey's finest, the motivator, the brother from another mother.
But doubters in the past and the people who laugh.
Blessings, brother.
Forever grateful for all the time.
Chip chap.
And Papa say, oh, son, you can't give up. What's for you is for you. I said,
Also out of New Jersey,
never stop.
Mix102.com.
God bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I could drink champagne when I
And their sister station out of Jamaica, Earth 96 FM.
this how I get man so lucky. But I thank me for the run my family.
Blessing symbol. Thank you for all the work you do.
Just me, love is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it. See, I'm far from finished.
I want to say big ups to Mr. Lindsay. ClintonLindsay.com, the Foundation Radio Network.
I say na 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 na. I say na 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 na.
Much love and respect, Mr. Lindsay, veteran in the business. There's on a voice in the background.
Just material thing, cause I come from far.
Track is called Far From Finished.
I've be grateful for. And we don't chase material thing. No.
Are you one that can relate to being far from finished? You should.
I never had it easy for the brands and the bling and the expensive thing. Oh, I never had the money, never had nice living. And mama say, oh, you could have it all. Just work hard for yours. I say, mama, you know I work hard for sure. Now Jah bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I can drink champagne when I thirst. Now I can see only thing I never see. They say this hour you man so rock. But I thank me for the run my family. Now no bad mind boy I get stop play. And every show I smiling cause trust me, life is so lovely boy. And I'm far from finished boy. And I can't believe it, no. See I'm far from finished boy. Love the life that I live in. I say na 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 na. I say na 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 na. Say na 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 na. I say na 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 na. I say na 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 na.
Let me go ahead and take care of a little bit of housekeeping.
I say na na na. I say na 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 na.
As we wait on our guests to join us.
The past and the people who laugh on us. Forever grateful.
I want to say thank you to Pulse Media Group
Papa say, oh, son, you can't give up.
for all the effort that they've put in and this energy and the support
Now Jah bless me with the opportunity.
when it comes to the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele.
Now I could drink champagne when I thirsty. Now I could see all the thing I never see. They say this how I get man so lucky.
All the work that is being done
No,
to bring KevinSteele.com back online.
cause trust me, love is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy.
Yeah, we're far from finished,
Can't believe it, no.
but we don't give up.
See, I'm far from finished, boy.
Thank you, Pulse Media Group.
Love the life that I live in.
I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands.
I say na na na.
Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties.
I say na 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 na.
She comes to you,
Na na na.
bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience.
For the brands and the bling and the expensive thing, oh, I never had the money, never had nice living. And mama say, oh, you could have it all. Just work hard for yours. I say, mama, you know I work hard for sure. Now Jah bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I can drink champagne.
So if you're in the Palm Beach area,
See all
in Broad County,
they say this hour you man so lucky.
or in North Miami-Dade, you need a massage,
Boy, they get stuck there. And every
want to treat somebody to a massage,
life is so lovely, boy. And I'm far.
and all the massage parlors you know are far away or you don't trust them,
Can't believe it.
don't worry. Althea comes to you. 954-655-9000 is the number to call to schedule your appointment. She only has one request outside of paying her.
I say na na na.
Is that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done.
Say na 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 na. I say na na na.
It's called the Kevin Steele Clause.
I say na na na. I say na na na.
Because I always fall asleep as soon as she get to work, you know, she start, boom, out.
Thankful for doubters in the past and the people who laugh on us. Forever grateful.
Thank you, Althea.
Fail. And Papa say, oh, son, you can't give up. What's for you?
I want to say thanks to the global base.
I know I will never stop, no. No judge I bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I could drink champagne when I'm thirsty. Now I could see only thing I never.
The global base navigates your journey across music, marketing, event planning, and more. It's a realm where the social spheres awaken through their masteries. Go ahead and embrace the invitation to create your can't even talk the way I'm bedazzled by the global base. Embrace the invitation to liberate your creativity, unbounded and free. Just like their consultation. The global base is your catalyst for everything related to music production, radio and event promotion, event planning and organization, and a whole lot more. Go ahead and connect with them today. The Global Base, daglobalbase.com. Let them know you heard about them from the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele.
I said, Mama, you know I look out for sure. Don't judge a bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I could drink champagne.
I want to say thank you to McNeil Trucking.
The only thing I never see. They say this how you.
McNeil Trucking is a veteran-owned, licensed and insured mover in the state of Florida. So if you want to move from the Keys up to Jacksonville,
And I'm far from finished.
from Naples to Pompano,
And I can't be
Palm Beach to Pensacola, and all points between.
from finished.
You want to put some things in storage, you don't have the manpower, you don't have the transportation, don't worry. You have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking, 954-406-9740. That's 954-406-9740. If you want to take it a step further and move out of the state of Florida, or move into the state of Florida, McNeil Trucking got you there too.
Forever grateful for all the time.
When you call them up,
And Papa said,
tell them Kevin Steele sent you.
what's for you is for you.
Yeah man, feel free to name drop.
I never stop, no. No judge
They'll be happy to know
opportunity to fly country to country.
you heard about them from me.
Not thirsty. Now I could see only thing I know.
Thank you, McNeil Trucking.
How I get man so lucky. But I thank you for the run me family. No, no bad mind boy, they can stop me. And every show I smiling cause trust me, love is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, I'm far from finished, boy. Love the life that I live in. I say na na na, I say na 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 na, I say na na na, I say na na na. I never had it easy for the brands and
You forget
the
about me?
expensive thing on. I never had the money, never had nice.
No, the link that I sent you,
And
man.
Mama say, oh,
The
you could
Google
have it
Voice,
all.
the Google
Just
Meet link.
work hard for yours. I say, Mama, you know I look hard for sure. Don't judge a bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I could drink champagne when I thirst. Now I could see only thing I never see. They say this how I get man so lucky. But I thank you for the run me family. No, no bad mind boy, they get stop me. And every show I smiling cause trust me, life is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, I'm far from finished, boy. Love the life that I live in, yeah. I say na na na, I say na na na, say na na na, I say na na na, I say na na na.
Lala, good evening. Inviting you all to call a friend, tell a friend. Friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends and your enemies too. Call up somebody, anybody, everybody, let them know. It's a night shift to DJ Kevin Steele. Yeah, we're just getting started, we're far from finished. We're waiting for the featured presenter to join us.
I never had it easy for the brands and the bling and the expensive thing on it. Never had the money, never had nice living. And mama say, oh, you could have it all. Just work hard for yours. I say, mama, you know I work hard for sure. Now Jaja bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I could drink champagne and I trust. Now I could see only thing I never see. They say this hour you man so rough. But I thank me for the run my family. Now no bad mind boy, I can stop play. And every show I smiling cause trust me, life is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, I'm far from finished, boy. Love the life that I live in. I say na na na, I say na na na, say na na na, I 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 say na na na. Forever thankful for doubters in the past and the people who laugh on us. Forever grateful for all the times I've failed. And Papa say, oh son, you can't give up. What's for you is for you. I say, Papa, you know I will never stop, no. Now Jaja bless me with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I could drink champagne when I'm thirsty. Now I could see all the thing I never see. They say this hour you man so lucky. But I thank me for the run my family. Now no bad mind boy, they can stop me.
Alright, that's a good look.
Trust me, love is so lovely, boy. And I'm far from finished, boy. And I can't believe it, no. See, I'm far from finished, boy. Love the life that I live in. I say na na na, I say na na na, say na na na, I 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 say na na na. Now every little thing that I have, man, I'm thankful for. And I don't chase material thing 'cause I come from far. So every little thing.
Yeah, we're not chasing material things around here now. We come from far. The little things that we have,
Material.
we're very grateful for it.
I'm far from finished, boy.
We show how we are truly grateful for the little things
Life that I live in.
and we make big things out of them.
I say na na na, I say na na na, say na na na, I 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 say na na na. Forever thankful for doubters in the past and the people who laugh on us. Forever grateful for all the times I've failed. And Papa say, oh son,
So trouble don't set like rain, them say. I lost one of my cameras, and it happened to be my guest camera. I quickly get him back here. Alright, Curtis, let me see if I can hear you. Give me a sound check there, please, and thanks.
Yes.
I can hear you loud and clear. Alright, so I might have to
increase my volume.
I might have to just talk to you until I can add you back. I don't know. This camera just disappeared a while ago.
Oh, I'm right here. I'm seeing
No. Yeah, you're fine right there. That's not the camera that disappeared. I can tell you that. Trust that, believe. So, the camera that disappeared is on another, and we can talk about this too, because some people not gonna really understand until we explain it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce you to Curtis. Now, Curtis, I met Curtis, believe it or not, just yesterday. And we had a good little chat, and I felt the need for Curtis to be my guest tonight. And he was willing enough at short notice to make it happen. Now, Curtis is very involved in the Caribbean community. We met at the International Reggae and World Music Awards. And Curtis somehow uniquely has positioned himself in South Florida, and I would dare to say expands out of, and is bringing something that we take for granted to the Caribbean community and the community at large. And so we're gonna chit chat with Curtis a little bit about what it is that he's doing and how he's going about accomplishing it. Now, I wonder if I probably can. So let me do this. Ladies, those of you watching on YouTube Live will definitely be able to see Curtis right about Okay, Curtis, you there?
Yes, I'm here, loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I know what happened. All right, because I am changing up some things here on the fly. All right, so, all right. There we go. So, you can still hear me now. All right, so there he is. I know people were seeing you just now and wondering, wait, why is he not responding? Because he wasn't hearing me. I'm here multitasking. So, Curtis, go ahead and introduce yourself for me, please, to the people.
My name is Curtis B. Henry. As you mentioned earlier on, we met last night. So before I go in a little more about me, I have to work on my elevator pitch. Because, Kevin, I approached you for you to come on my show. And somewhere in the process of me trying to get you, you were able to convince me to come on your show. And here I am tonight. So I really have to ask myself, which one is the master communicator here? Because in my attempts to woo you, I am now here on your show. So you have to teach me some of that magic that you will.
I don't know. It's just the way how things work out, bro.
Well, nevertheless, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here, make a contribution, whatever valuable insights I may be willing to, I may have that I can share. I'm willing to do that. So let's dive right into it. As you stated, what I do. It's more or less what I don't do. I'm a filmmaker, a poet, an actor, and a podcaster. Those are the things that I claim to fame that I'm doing right now. The list goes on and on. I've lived many lives. I've been a soldier in this U.S. Army. So, let's just talk and let's see what comes up and what comes out.
Right. So, first of all, you have a unique accent. And everybody that is from somewhere that you are not will always tell you that you have an accent.
Yes.
So people hear me who are not Jamaican and say, you have a nice accent. I hear you and I say, you have a nice accent. I know this accent. I'm familiar with this accent. Where's this accent from?
The Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. You know what's strange about that, Kevin? We have come a long way. I've been in these United States since 1979. And let me tell you something. When I arrived here in 79, it wasn't considered cute. It wasn't considered romantic. None of that. And there was a rift going on between Trinis and Jamaicans in New York. I landed in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
And I'm happy today to see Jamaicans having a carnival. I'm happy to see Jamaicans dancing to soca music. Here you open your program and you put on some soca music. And
Always.
That's a change. It's a beautiful change that I'm glad I was able to see come about, because back in 79, 80 in Brooklyn, no, you put on a soca song in a party, Jamaicans walk out.
Really?
Yeah, they walk out. No, nobody, I hear that. And they walk out the party. So now it's refreshing to see, the girls dancing and throwing down to soca music. They're out there, the carnivals. And Jamaica itself has a carnival now. So that's a beautiful thing.
Funny thing about soca music and Jamaica, when I was younger, I couldn't go to a party and get a dance with a girl unless it was soca music I was playing. Because all my friends that would get the girls could get the slow jams, they can get the reggae dance hall. But soca was like everybody dance. So that is the time that I would get a dance when I was
and where
much
was
younger. That was in Jamaica. And this was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, we're talking a solid decade after
Cool,
the
man.
I'm talking about. Yeah,
Cool, man. You have one standard grade. You have several. Cool.
Several. Yeah, man. This is experience.
That is it.
They say with age comes wisdom, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
And when you're not so lucky, you get everything else. The bills, the joint pain,
Well, I think that's there regardless, That's there regardless.
So, you went on a journey. You migrated from the Twin Island Republic over to New York.
Flatbush.
All right. So, and you also went into the Army, the U.S. Army.
Yes. Well, at the time, what I did, I had an elder brother that went into the military. And about the time he came out, I was going, wait a minute, I'm supposed to call him. Today's his birthday. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
I totally forgot that. But at the time I was about to go in, he was coming out. So we never did cross paths in the army. But the army wasn't a decision that I made based off of love to say, well, yeah, I want to be a soldier. I want to go into the army. What I had to escape the streets of Brooklyn. And like I said, escape. I came up in July 1979, and before the summer was done, man, I can give you some stories, man. I was, I came from a peaceful life in Trinidad to a totally different world in Brooklyn, New York. The guns, the violence, dodging bullets. It was something else that my young mind and body wasn't really prepared for. So I was forced to make a decision. It's either I pack up my little grip that I came with. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, yes. Grip,
yeah.
Yes.
I came up with a grip. And it was either I pack my grip and go back home with the same few pieces of clothes I came with, or stay on the street and deal with the circumstances, or go into the military. And I chose option number 3 and enlisted in the military and see the world, as they say.
All right. So where did the military take you?
Well, this may sound not kind of local now, but for me, it was a totally different world. I did basic training in New Jersey, from Fort Dix, New Jersey. From there, I went to Fort Eustis in Virginia for what we call AIT. That's for your schooling. From there, I went to Hunter Army Airfield in Georgia. From there, I went to Germany. I stayed in Germany for well over a year. I came out in '83, but Uncle Sam still owned me until 1986. So I did 3 years enlisted, 3 as a civilian, but still belonged to Uncle Sam.
Okay. Now, as you were in there, now the army has a way of giving people some skills if they didn't have a set that they were bringing to use in the army. Were you one of those that gained some skills while you were there in the military, or you?
What type of skills are you talking about?
Now, there are skills that you use when military send you out, and there are skills that you use when the military allows you to, when you've done your time with the military and you come back to regular civilization. I'm talking about the ones that you use when you come back to regular civilization.
Well, unfortunately, brother, listen. While I was in there, my job was, the proper term for it was aircraft structural repair. I worked on helicopters. And when I came out, I said, well, okay, I'm going to go get a job in the airport. Right. It didn't quite work like that. I called quite a few airlines, Delta Airlines, Continental Airlines, sent in resumes and whatnot. And everybody said no. I said, yeah, I'm to work on helicopters, right? Pull up a resume and whatnot. And they were like, no. In order to touch these planes, you have to have a FAA license. And that called for me going back to school in order to get a license. And I was like, no, wait a minute. I was qualified enough to work on helicopters that protected this nation, but yet still when I came out into the civilian world, I wasn't qualified enough to work on private aircraft. Right. So I was like, you know what, I just got to put that aside and move on to something else.
So what is that?
But they did equip me with some other skills though, yeah, that came in quite handy over time, to put it mildly.
All right. Duly noted.
Yeah. They still serve me up to today, let me tell you that.
Got you. So you decided now to use or garner some other skills. So you came out of the military. It wasn't happening for you in commercial airlines. Where did you go? What did you do?
Boy, let me see. Came out in '83. From there, I kind of started running the streets again, you know, doing the things young people do. You know, I was in my early 20s. So, you start to live life, and then living life comes with certain consequences. If you're not careful, you could end up, when you're out there having sex, you could end up with certain things like AIDS, and you could end up with certain things that last longer than AIDS. Back then, AIDS would kill you in 10 years.
Right.
Or you could get a girl pregnant and that stick with you for 18 years.
Correct.
At least.
Yes.
So in 1985, my girlfriend said, hey, I'm pregnant. So I had to really kind of shift gears and say, well, okay, what am I going to do from here? Because, okay, baby on the way, I was working in a dead-end job. I said, listen, I got to go learn a trade. And I had some buddies of mine, they were doing upholstery, reupholstery, covering furniture and whatnot. Right. And I decided, you know what, let me learn this. And I dedicated myself, put all my time into it and learned the trade. And before the baby got here, I was able to go out and be gainfully employed doing reupholstery. So that I sort of fell into that by accident, on purpose. And that has sustained me up to today. I recently retired from that and decided to put more time into media arts. Acting has always been a love of mine. Show business on the whole has been a love of mine. I'm a child of the cinema, I like to say that. Because growing up in Trinidad, around somewhere between 12, 14, I used to sneak away and go to the theater almost every day. Every day. Started off from black and white movies. Just go to the theater, seeing the martial arts movies, all of those things, Wang Yu, Chen Sing, and from Jackie Chan early movies and all of those. I grew up on that. And I fell in love with filmmaking in 1975. I saw a movie by the name of Coolie High. You familiar with it?
Yes.
Coolie High, yes. I saw that, and actually, two movies came out that same year. Coolie High and Cornbread, Earl and Me.
Cornbread, Earl and Me, yeah.
Right. And when I saw Coolie High, that movie gave me the inspiration to become a filmmaker. And when I saw Cornbread, Earl and Me, right then and there, I knew I wanted to be an actor. I saw a young kid in that movie give a testimony in court. A gentleman now by the name of Lawrence Fishburne. And he gave his testimony in court, and while he's up there crying on the stand telling the story about how they killed Cornbread, I heard some sniffling coming from next to me. And I looked around, and there's this grown man sitting there and crying. And I looked back at the screen, and I looked back at him. I said to myself, I said, you realize this is fake, right? But yet still this man is sitting there crying. Thousands of miles in the Caribbean from where this movie was made. And this little kid is on the screen talking, and this man is there sniffling. And I said, you know what? I want to have the power to do that. And then and there, I decided to become an actor. And I started imitating people on the screen. I started imitating the martial artists and whatnot. And I did go on and learn martial arts while I was in the military. And, after I, entered competitions, fighting, started doing full contact, and that didn't turn out too good. That didn't turn out too good, but I'm not ashamed to say it. Lost quite a few fights, won some. But so it all started from there. The martial arts, it all came out of the movies. The love for screenwriting, the love for acting came out of theater. Not theaters on the stage, but what we call theater home, the cinema. So it all started there. And after coming out of the military and doing the upholstery, the urge for that, it was in my blood, it's in my DNA, and it had to come out. And I called some friends together, back in the early 80s, we used to be, we had a sound system, and we used to be DJing on the mic every day, every single day after work. We would come home, buy a little nickel bag, and we go home and we cook something, me and my brethren them, and we start to play music, and everybody would take their little turn and chat on the mic. And I saw the opportunity in that, and I told my brethren them, I said, listen, we need to record this. The stuff that we do every day, we need to start recording this and keep it something that we could show to our children, years, generations from now. And they would just sit and look at me like, Yeah. Right. Oh, years later, I found out from one of them. The guy said, "Man," he said, "I gotta confess something to you, man." He said, "Listen, man, we used to laugh at you, man."
Yeah.
I said, "What?" He said, "Man, we used to laugh at you every time you walk out the room when you finish talking that crap. We used to laugh because we say, who this guy think he is? Steven Spielberg, Francis Ford Coppola, but he's talking about making movies. You see, that was a stretch. That was a stretch for people in my neighborhood. It was a stretch for people my age. It was a stretch for people from my background. Where I am today, I wasn't supposed to be here. Statistics say I wasn't supposed to be here. So, like I said, some of them laugh at me. Today, some of them would say, "Yeah, man, I've always supported you, man. I've been there for you from day one." I said, "Yeah, I remember." So I started, didn't know anything about screenwriting. I started jotting down a few lines, and then I would tell this one, I say, "Okay, you walk in the room and you say this. And when he says this, I want you to answer him and say this." And I hired now what do you call the thing, the camcorder. That came out in 1985, I think it was, or 84. It came out in 84. And that opened up a whole world for me. Now I was able to record stuff, but those camcorders, they were like a couple $1,000s back then. So I hired a guy who had a camcorder, and I, invited to come in and record this stuff. And I shot a film. I call it a film.
You call it?
The name escapes me at this moment of time, but that was the first. No, I'm lying. I need to go back a little further than that. My first paycheck in the military, I bought myself a camera.
Okay.
A silent 8mm camera and a projector with my very first paycheck I received in the military. And I shot something doing martial arts and stuff like that. So that was actually my first film. And then the other stuff that I did in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. So you went, and that was while you were still in the military?
No. This is when I came out.
Okay. All right. So you were thinking, all right, what we call in Jamaica kickers.
Pick up.
Yeah, you're going to make a little kickers. Like a kung fu flick. So just because you saw this movie, you were inspired to go and create more like it. You wanted to have this kind of influence on people who would see you. Or that's not how you saw it?
I didn't have a long-term objective. I didn't have any plan in the works. Like I said, it was just in my DNA, and I knew it had to come out. There was not, I don't care where I was. I don't care which corner of the world I was. This what I do now had to come out of me.
Yeah.
Some way, some shape, some form.
Okay. All right. So there it is. You created your first film. What was your thought when you were done, you put it together? First of all, I guess the filming of it, making the film itself was the easy part, doing the actions. But then you realized that there was more that you had to do.
Oh, yes. Lessons that I'm still learning today, man. Lessons that I'm still learning today, because I see so many filmmakers today. You make a film. A lot of us like to misuse the term movie. There's a difference. A film is the tangible product. A movie is when it's up there on that screen and it's making some money and there's a paying audience. Now we can say you have a movie.
Gotcha.
But other than that, we make a film, we premiere it, you have some of your friends and family come out.
Right.
Sometimes we go the extra mile, we do the red carpet. Your friends and your family cheer for you and you say, "Yes, I've made it.
Right.
I'm a filmmaker."
Yes.
But what do we do with that film? We take it and we put it up on the mantle. And when our friends and family come over, we dust it off and we show it to them and we put it back up there. And there's so much more to the industry than that. That is just one step of the way after making that film. And I'm telling you, up to today, it's still a lesson that I am still learning. And a lot of people around me are still learning to take it that next step and to the next step in terms of marketing. Marketing, that's not a word I knew growing up. This is something I learned recently. Marketing, that's a whole other ball game that you have to learn, or have the right people around you, or have the finance to hire the proper people to take that film to the next step, where you can then call it a movie, where it's on the screen, where it's on a platform where people can now pay to see it. So many of us fall short of that, myself included.
Yeah, that marketing thing is a beast. As close as I am to the world of marketing in and of itself, yeah, that's a beast. I do my fair share of marketing. This when I promote this program, it's my little bit of marketing that I have to do. And I realized when I started doing this, when people were telling me, no, you need to do certain things so that you can have certain kind of reach. And I'm like, reach who? If I reach one person, I'm good. My job is done. Because they'll be so inspired to tell somebody else. But let me reach one first. And I went and I did my little bit to get to the point where I am now, where I can say thank you to my affiliates around the globe that are carrying this broadcast and the message that goes along with it. And as far as the UK and here in the US and in Jamaica, and I'm forever grateful. But the work to get there, boy, ooh, and the work to maintain it.
That's why you have to love this thing, man. You have to love it. Because you see where you sit there right now?
Yes.
Let me backtrack a little bit. After shooting those things on VHS at home, some of them I still have on VHS, right? I still have some of that footage on VHS. And after doing that and begging my friends to chip in a little $5 to pay the video guy, that was like pulling teeth, man. Yeah. After a while, I got really frustrated with it. One morning, I'm on the train and I saw, I don't know if you're familiar with New York. On the train, they would have these advertisements up there, and I saw something that you can learn editing, television production, and all of that. And I pulled off a piece of the paper. The very evening after work, I went down to the school in Manhattan, signed up. The next day, I started school. And I just sort of disappeared from my brethren them. I didn't even tell anybody anything. I was just missing in action.
Right.
But I got kind of tired of begging grown men to come up with $5 to do something that could benefit all of us. But the problem is, and a lot of us suffer with this, we turn to other people to help manifest our dreams. But what we have to realize is that everyone have their own dreams. You have your own purpose for being here. And as exciting as this thing was for me, it wasn't exciting to them. That was my vision. Yes. This is what I am here for. This is my road to walk. And I was asking them to lift the load and walk with me. And they could only do that for so far along the journey. Correct. Before they drop off. Yes. And I had to keep going.
Yes.
So I decided to continue. I had to keep going. I couldn't stop because let me tell you something, man. Sleep don't come easy. When you have a story, when you have something that you need to accomplish, and when this art form, this thing that we have been blessed with, this talent, this gift that we came here with to share with humanity, let me tell you something, man. Sleep don't come easy. Any artist out there, any creative can testify to what it is I'm saying. When you have a song in your head, or you're writing a story and you jump out, you sleep in the middle of the night because you think, say, the character's supposed to say this, and that. And then that character wakes you up at 3 in the morning and say, no, I'm going over here, so. Not where you think, Karen, I'm doing this. No, this is not based on my background. I would never do that. And you have to get up and tear up 3 pages of dialogue and start over because that character just telling you that is not where I need to go. I need to go over so. So you have to get up and you have to write. You sleep with a notepad next to your bed, or you have one of those little recorders. You get up and you speak into it. I've been urged for years to get a recorder and do that thing, or even use my phone. And somehow I'm old school. I still keep a notepad next to the bed and get up and jot some notes down. That's what I do. That's just my style. So I'm old school and I'm holding on to that.
You know, there's a creative that is watching right now by the name of Lorinda. And I had her on chit-chatting with me, co-hosting with me. And I brought her back and we talked about this book that she wrote. And it's a book of her. It's a book about her, really. And it's poetry, it's some short stories put together, but it really is her. And some of the very same things that you're saying there, I've heard her with those things, you know, the thought that came, and she has some writing to do, but it wouldn't come, and then in the middle of the night, she just can't sleep, and there it came, or something happened, and there it is. But outside of writing a character's story, you do other writing, because you're also a poet.
Yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat.
Somewhat, yes.
All right. So,
you know why I said it like that, and I don't mean to minimize what it is I do. I've been criticized by some people over the years, and they say, "Oh man, that's bubblegum poetry." But some people tend to think that every poem has to be metaphors, and you get into this deep thing, and you have to go home and take 4 days before you understand what it is they say. I mean, that's good. If that's what you inspire to do, go ahead. But sometimes the things that come to me are basic rhymes. So that's what comes to me, and that's what I write. So is that poetry? Yes, it is. A lot of people don't appreciate that. And some people don't appreciate the long drawn out stuff that you take a week to figure out.
Yes.
So it's still poetry.
Right.
You know, I'm the vessel that brings it, it comes through. So I write it and it's there. You accept it or you don't. I'm no longer going to explaining it in terms of why I write this or anything of the sort.
But why should you though? When a visual artist creates a piece, whether it be a painting or a sculpture of various materials, they don't really embark on an explanation unless it's an exhibit, and then you have an opportunity to meet the artist and get the story, or somebody interviews them to get the story behind this creation. The people just accept it as, hey, look at this piece of art, and you interpret it as you see fit.
But you see, we have to be some brave souls, you know, in this game, because you put yourself out there to be judged as an artist. When you get up on stage, there's an audience that's judging you. You present a piece, you sing, or you paint a piece. You open up yourself to the world for ridicule, to be judged. And that's one of the things we have to face as an artist. And sometimes 9 people may say they don't like this, and one person come along and it's the most beautiful thing in the world that they've ever seen. You know,
right.
That reminds me of, let me give you a little interesting story here. I'm also very handicrafty. I make earrings, a lot of Afrocentric pieces and whatnot. And some years back, I made a pair of earrings out of June plum seed.
That's interesting.
You know when you done something June plum?
Yeah.
And I dry the seeds, pomsite, as we call it in Trinidad, and I took my time and I took out all the little flesh from inside till there was nothing but the seed with all the looking like
the hairs,
like a cave all up inside. Yeah, and I made some earrings out of that. And I had them on a board, and I chose not to sell them. They were just a conversation piece. At carnivals and stuff, I always put it out. And when people pass by, like, wait, there's a pomsite seed? I would never wear that. And I would say to the girl, does it make a difference if you find out that I was the one that sucked the June plum? But, you know, she said, oh, I'll pay more for it, you know. And it was just a conversation piece. And one day, this Caucasian lady came by, and she picked it up, and she held it. And she studied this thing for about 20 minutes. I'm not exaggerating. And she studied it. She's twisted and she studied it. And then she looked at me and she said, "Sir, tell me something. Isn't this about the ugliest thing you have ever seen?"
Wow.
That's not what I was expecting after she looked at it for 20 minutes.
Right.
He said, "This is about the ugliest thing I have ever seen. It is just so gothic. It looks like you have like caves, like you have little elves and goblins living up inside there." It created this world in my mind looking at this thing. It is so ugly. How much for it?
Right.
I told her it's not for sale, and that woman would not leave until we settled on a price. Every time I said no, she go up by $5. I said no, she offered $5 more until I started feeling bad. I said, you know what? I could always suck another June plum and make another one. And I sold it to her because it meant something to her. So that's why she was able to get it.
Okay. Yep. I see.
Prince Story is an artist.
Yeah. It's and this is how you end up with those pieces. I never really considered myself as a creative until I started talking with a lot of them. This broadcast in and of itself is a creation. It's an extension of me. Because we're having this dialogue now because I'm curious. I'm curious about you and why it is that you're doing the things that you're doing. And so it has become this piece. And my intro, I created it. And the one I had before this was a remix of two recordings, the Commodore's Night Shift and Busy Signal's Night Shift, and I put them together in a nice little remix. And I said, but wait, hold on. If one day I become larger than life, these people are going to want their money.
Really?
So I created that which became my intro. I got on some software and I got to work creating some of it I made the melody. Some of it I took clips, audio clips, and modified it. The beat definitely created it. And this became my theme song. And every time I play it, I know it's unique to me. Here is my creation. And people hear it and they go, oh, that's Kevin Stew. That's his theme. And funny enough, there's a little melodic pattern to it that is the melodic line of my high school song. And I would toy with the name of the broadcast, the Night Shift. I went to St. George's College and we were considered to be knights.
Mm.
And so it's a play on words and concepts. But if I don't explain it, then you wouldn't get it. Just like my motto, have acceptance through enlightenment. And people would look at it and go, oh, that sounds nice. Where did you get that from? And I would say hate. Take the first letter of each of those words and tell me what you get. And they go, oh, whoa. And somebody told me, that will never fly. And I said, okay.
The sad part is that they may not be around to see it fly. By the time it grows wings of its own, it may be for your children to benefit from.
Mm-hmm. But
that person may have moved on and never understand the importance of what it is you did.
Yes.
The importance of copyright ownership in this business. A lot of people take that for granted.
Yes.
Take it for granted. Look, I have a virgin of mine. You familiar with the song called I Wanna Move It, Move It?
Yes, yes.
I
The
wanna move it, move it.
Baha men, Baha boys.
No. Mad Stuntman from Trinidad.
Oh. Yes. The soca one.
Mad Stuntman, yes. No,
Yes.
he's not a soca artist. Mad Stuntman. I wanna move it, move it. I wanna move it, move it. I wanna move it.
But
He did that song. He's also from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
No, the person you're thinking about who did it over was will.i.am. What you thinking about is Who Let the Dogs Out? Bahaman.
that was what I was thinking, yes. I like to move it
I Wanna
is
Move
the
It,
other one.
Move It.
Yes.
If
And they used it in Madagascar.
exactly, Madagascar 1, Madagascar 2, Madagascar 3.
Yes.
Now, I know Stuntman from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a regular guy on the block. But Stuntman was so large overseas. Places like Japan, Yugoslavia or Slavia, whatever it is, over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he got his fame.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. When Stuntman show up in Japan, people would crowd the airport like it was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That's how large he was over there, just for them to get to touch the hem of his garments.
Mm-hmm.
That's how popular this guy was. Had he taken that song and just said, oh, it's just a little thing I wrote, and not protected it, he could have lost out on a whole lot of opportunities, a whole lot of money.
Right.
Because somewhere along the line, somebody saw value in it and said, you know what? We're going to put these little monkeys to sing I Wanna Move It in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to cut this guy a check.
Right.
Luckily, he did his due diligence and claimed the copyright and owned that song. So don't take it for granted what it is you did there. Somebody will see the value in it somewhere down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that person who said it won't fly, they may have already flown and gone. But you might benefit from that one day.
It has been quite the conversation piece every time I've said it. So and from that I have gotten a few people to even be guests on my broadcast. I don't know if you're familiar with the book, The 4 Agreements.
Yes.
Okay. So Don Jose Ruiz and 2 of his 3 sons are also authors. And one of them co-wrote the 5th agreement with him. And I had him on this broadcast and we were talking. He's been on a couple of times. And we were talking about the whole Toltec concept and explaining how the Toltecs lived and the concepts behind it. And I mentioned my motto to him. And he says, that, yes, you've got it. That insight is what people don't realize exists. And the same thing that my friend at one point said, you're going to use hate and create this and it won't fly. But you ask, what is hate? And the concept of having acceptance through enlightenment now becomes a whole different thing, because it is that thing that you don't understand, that you don't like, but you can't explain it. We don't like sharks. We hate sharks because we hear that they're killers, but then you see people out there swimming with sharks and having a grand time.
I don't hate sharks. Where I come from, we eat them.
There you go.
You ever had a bacon shark?
Yes. I went to Barbados and had it.
No. You didn't.
No.
If you had a bacon shark, you remember.
I went to Barbados. I had it in Barbados because I also had dolphin. But that dolphin was the fish and not the mammal. But yes, I had a taste of it in Barbados.
No, you need to if you end up in Trinidad, go to Marcus Beach and get a bacon shark. If you come down to Fort Lauderdale, go to Joy's Restaurant and get a bacon shark.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get to understand. There was a guy that did food stuff on TV at one, a guy called Zimmerman. a short, rotund white dude that used to cover food all over the world. And he had that at the top of his list as the best thing he had ever eaten. Bacon shark in Trinidad.
I need to go visit Joyce again.
Yeah, man. Or
just
you
because you
catch
said.
your own shark. Catch your own shark and see.
Yeah, I'm not to promise nobody that still. So in the midst of all of this though, you have actually gone through and put in the work and have you've put together, outside of your kung fu flick, you've done another project that this one now involved people. And this was a few years ago that I've come to realize. I don't know if you will recognize this. Let me see if I can do this.
Some good with your lifestyle.
I ain't never getting married.
Are you hearing it?
Look at them goddamn basketball players. Married some shit they just met. 6 months later, Evils. Me, I can't see me marrying no stranger, Chief.
You wasting my time right now, okay? Get a damn job. Get your shit together. Get your money up. Then come and try to talk to me,
Get
okay?
my money up. Really? Yo, I'm not done.
Yes, you are done. You're done, Calvin.
You heard what she said?
Why you coming out here like we still friends?
Over. It's been over.
If you love her so much, Cal, then why don't you go back out there and get her then, man?
Let me show you something.
How long are you gonna punish yourself, man?
A Curtis Henry film.
Yes, sir.
Urban Heartbreak.
Yes, sir.
And some folk on the radio side kind of missed out on hearing that because of the modification I had to do to. And, you know, I could have done it another way. Anyway. Yeah. But here it is. Good evening, Tamika. Welcome. You sat down and created this concept, Urban Heartbreak. And tell us about this creation.
Yeah. Urban Heartbreak came about as a result of us talking, not just talking, but criticizing other people's films. This is something that us filmmakers are good at. We go to other projects, and then when we walk out the theater, we start talk about, I would have done this different. You see how we do this? That wasn't good. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. And one day we came from a premiere in Hollywood. I'll leave the project nameless. And a couple filmmakers, we were walking back to our vehicles. And immediately they started tearing the film apart. And I stopped. And they continued walking. When they looked back, they saw me standing there. So they waited, what's up? I said, when are we going to stop this nonsense? When are we going to stop pulling each other apart? I said, do you have a film? Yeah. Do you have one? No. Do you have one? No. Do you have a film? Yes. I said, I don't have one. I said, you don't even have a bad film to compare to his film, but you tearing his one down. Right? Where is yours? Do you pay to go see a movie, and when you come out, you break it apart, you tear it apart? No, those people already got your money. First, they don't even care. You already paid to see it.
Right.
And you don't waste the time to talk about it when you come out of the theater. You say, that was a bad, how much money ever I spent, I ain't going to see that no more, and you move on. But when it comes to us, each other, we tear each other down. I said, this needs to stop. I said, have you ever gone to an event and the gate man say, "Hey, here comes John Brown," and they move the rope aside for you to come in. No. Have you ever gone to the supermarket and a child walk up to you and ask you for your autograph? No. I said, well, let me tell you something. I have. It's a beautiful feeling. So let's create something individually that we could get those kind of accolades. Right. Then you have space to talk. I said, listen, I am going to shoot a film. So then no longer would I be amongst those that are criticizing other people. Now I have something and I'm out there up for judgment also. Let's see how it feels.
Right.
And then you'll probably look at it differently and stop tearing each other down. So what I did, even before I had one word written, from that group that was there, I started putting my crew together to do my film. And then I went home and I started writing the story. And as you write, you have the character sort of in your head as to what you want them to look like. And you say, well, okay, I know an actress look like that. I know this, and you start pulling people together. This, I wanted to be a Caribbean project. Caribbean actors across the board.
Yeah.
From different countries, not just a Trini film or a Jamaican film. I wanted to mix it up. I have Haitians in there. I have Jamaicans. I have Trinidadians. A nice mix of people.
Right.
And I added some other elements like the food and dance and some of the culture and whatnot into the story. And that's where we ended up, Urban Heartbreak. I didn't want to call it Black Heartbreak, but the story had to do with how we as people respond to that particular subject matter. You know, as you say in Jamaica, let me ask you something. You ever get burned?
Me personally?
Yeah. You ever get burned?
Not that I know of, but I'm
Not that
pretty
you
sure.
know of. Okay.
I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure.
All right, well, with me, brethren, I get bun, cheese, I get a whole bakery. All right? So I wanted to put in some elements in there as to how we react in a situation like that. So that was what the story was about. So as you see the guy there, he proposed to the girl, and basically she took him outside and said, like, nah, you weren't even ready for this. Get your act together before you're thinking about coming and marrying me, because, you know, get your life together.
Yes.
And some other elements in there to the story, but he was rejected, which is something that happened to me back in my early days. I didn't go down on the one knee and stuff like that, but I did ask a girl to marry me, and she said no. And I still remember that up to today. And that ain't something I ever would wish on anybody. That ain't something that I ever want to happen to me again. So coming from a personal space, and some of it fiction, I wrote the story, Urban Heartbreak, as to how we respond in situations like that. So that's how the story came about. And interestingly enough, I casted everyone for this film, and my lead actor, the Friday night before we were to begin shooting the Saturday, we had one final rehearsal, which was for him, because everyone else knew their lines. He was the only one messing up. And he did not show up that night for rehearsal. And I fired him. And started the project all over again. I told everybody, he's out. I need another actor. I'm going to cast another lead. And I casted the guy you saw there.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to make tough decisions in this business, but it's all for the betterment at the end of the day.
Right. How long ago was it that you did this project?
Yikes. 2015? Yeah, 2015.
10 years ago.
Yeah. 2015.
Is it anywhere that people can see it today?
No. No. At the point in time, no, I'm not sitting here making excuses. But I did the premiere in April, the Easter weekend, in April of 2015, the Sunday, Easter Sunday. And the Friday, my life fell apart. My life basically fell apart. Wife left, and then I became a single father, 3 little boys. So I had to kind of shift priorities, you know,
Right.
even though the show business and everything is still at the forefront of my mind. I had 3 children to raise,
Right.
2 were in Pampers. So everything about my life just changed, and I had to restructure and change my priorities. I didn't give up, but the film eventually got cold. It's still good. Actually, I looked at it back in 2024 for the first time since then. Because I tend not to look back at my work. It's just something in me. I don't look back at my stuff and criticize it. And so I had it was a 300-seat theater. There was standing room only for the premiere. And the beautiful part, if you saw something funny in that trailer and you laughed, imagine that multiplied by 300.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was the movie was well received. And since then I've helped maybe 4 other filmmakers take their project from I think I can to I did it. So it's not that I've been silent. I've been working with other filmmakers on their projects. And currently I'm working with another brethren of mine, Mr. Ronnie Kush, who's shooting a documentary, and I'm working with him on that to complete his project.
And Ronnie is an interesting guy too, because a lot of people don't know the name, but a lot of people probably have seen him and don't know it's him. When I was introduced to Ronnie, I was like, cool, he's into films and he did a little bit of acting, and then the bomb was dropped. But here it is that this man is the first black man in Star Wars that you see outside of James Earl Jones, that you don't really see, but you know it's him. And you couldn't help but go, wait, no, I have to go look for this. And then you go look him up, Ronnie Kush, and there's his picture, and there's a Star Wars Star Trooper ship that he flew in the movie. And I was like, yo, this is for real. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy that Curtis is working with. And those of you who are listening in or just joining us, with me tonight is Curtis B. Henry, who is embarking on a little bit of a unique project. And he touched on it just now with Ronnie Kush. And I'll have Ronnie eventually on here. And then in my mind, I'll have them both talking about this project. Because this project spans across, literally, the Caribbean. And it goes beyond. And it's I was told the concept of the documentary, and I can hardly wait. I don't know if you want to say what the concept is right now, Curtis.
Let's leave that for Ronnie.
Okay.
Let's leave that for Ronnie to come and tell the full story.
Perfect. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But
mind you, we also have another project that we started shooting. And I wouldn't say it's on hiatus now, but we will be picking up with that once we complete the documentary. We started shooting a sizzle reel for a project called Call Her Majesty.
Call Her Majesty.
Call Her Majesty. It's a book written by a sister named Kamala. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. Kamala. You could, if you look it up, Call Her Majesty. It's look it up on IG. So we were shooting a sizzle reel for that project. It's a book that the sister wrote, and we now turned that book into a screenplay, and we started shooting that particular project. And it's supposed to be done both here and in Jamaica. So we went underway with that also.
Okay. Kamala Remogene.
I see. I didn't want to mispronounce the name. Yes.
Okay. That looks interesting. It's a book. It's available on
It's on Amazon.
Barnes and Noble. You can get it in paperback. Okay. It's on Amazon also. Cool beans. So, and she is local here in Florida?
Yes.
Okay. More people to meet.
I can reach out to her and connect you guys to set something up.
Please, more people to meet. You hear that, Lala? There's more people to meet. Lala is Lorinda that wrote that book, She Blinked, the book of me. And she's watching right now. She also has a concept that she is bringing to fruition that engages the arts, the spoken word, the music, the song, the visual arts, presented in unison in one space at one time. So it's a beautiful concept, and it is coming to fruition. Even as we speak, I'm sure she's working on finalizing some things where that is concerned. There are a few people that were at the event last night that will be involved in it also. So it's a thing that is happening, that will be happening here in South Florida. But as I continue to engage with creatives like yourself, I can't help but be encouraged to continue doing what I do. This thing where I sit and I engage with others and I pick their brains and try to figure out why they do what they do. But I don't think I asked you yet. Why? Why write the piece that has come to mind, that you have released as a piece of poetry that others look at and raise their eyebrows? Why create a piece of jewelry from that is considered so hideous, but yet still the right person would not give up with letting it go? They would have to have it. Why create a film from a concept that is so common but yet still so abstract? Why?
You know, the words of Ronald Reagan came to mind. If not me, then who? If not now, when?
When?
I'm a firm believer that inspiration comes into the universe, and if something comes for you, it comes to you, it's because it was meant for you.
Mm-hmm.
To pass that out to the public. And I always say, I came here full and I want to leave empty. I want to keep pouring out everything that's in me, all of the gifts that I came to this existence to share with the world. I think it's unfair for me or any creative to die and leave this plane with their dreams still inside of them. There was a guy by the name of Miles Monroe who said that one of the richest places in the world is the cemetery.
Yes.
Because there are so many songs that are unsung, so many poems and books that haven't been written that's still stuck in people's minds. So many creative pieces, dances, music that never came out. Because that person never tapped into that source when it came knocking. So that's why the cemetery is one of the richest places in the world. Yeah. And I don't intend to leave here with these gifts. I came with something to share, and it's unfair for me not to share them with the world. It's unfair for me to leave this plane and still have them with me. One of the other things that you may not have read on my on my bio or where you got the information from, I also sang calypso for some years, for a while back. Not because I wanted to sing. I still don't consider myself a singer. But the song came to me and I wrote it. And then I had to do something with it.
Right.
It became difficult for me to present it to some of the bigger Calypsonians at the time. They weren't interested in listening to me. Some little Rastaman write, and nobody wanted to hear it. So I put on a little music to it, a little beat knocking on the table, and somebody said, that's good, let me do some instrumental to it. They did a little instrumental. They said, oh yeah, that sounds good. Why don't you go to the studio? I went to the studio, then they said, okay, you need to get somebody to write sheet music. I contacted somebody, wrote the sheet music, went into the studio, full orchestra, live guitar, live horns and everything. And then I recorded it. And then I said, yeah, now I'm going to present it to somebody. And somebody said, why are you going to do that? You're going to give this away? That sounds good. Okay, now what do? Then I turned around, walking the streets of Brooklyn. I saw, once again, another flyer on a street light, on a lamppost. Pull one of the numbers off, Calypso competition. Something like 50 contestants. I called. Hold up, they said they needed 2 songs. I went and I wrote another one. Boom, composed the 2 songs. Entered the competition. Never been on stage before. And here I am, out there singing Calypso. Out of 50 contestants, I came in 3rd.
Wow.
First time on stage. I say, you know what? I got to take this act on the road. I'm going Trinidad and sing. Now, in Trinidad, we have what you call tents for the carnival season. That's the little groups here and there, the Calypso tents. Right. And I went down and I auditioned for a Calypso tent, and I actually got in. So not 1, but 2 tents I got into. But I had to make a choice. Which one do I stick with? And I stuck with one particular tent called Freshwater Yankee. And I sang there for that carnival season. And looking back at it years later, somebody told me, man, you're so lucky. I've been trying to get into a tent for 25 years. I said, what? What do you mean? That's a lifetime. 25 years he had been trying every single year to get into a tent and was unsuccessful. Here I am, didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know it was supposed to be hard. Nobody told me it was supposed to be hard. I just got up, I did it, and boom, I was in the tent singing. For those who are familiar with the Calypso world, I was able to share the stage with Calypso Rose. I was able to share the stage with Ra Shorty I. Ra Shorty I is the inventor, the father of soca music. The guy who actually invented soca and gave it the name. I shared the stage with him, with Calypso Rose, artists like Squanter, Preacher, Bill Trotman, and a few others. So nobody said this was supposed to be difficult. I just got up, took a chance, went out there, boom, did it. Recorded a few other songs, went to Connecticut, sang again, became Calypso Monarch in Connecticut. Just by getting up and following your dreams, following that thing that is in your heart, that voice in your head that's telling you to do something. And sometimes you get people like your friend who tell you that song is not going to fly. You have to make up your mind. Are you going to listen to that, or are you going to listen to that voice that's inside of you telling you that this is what you need to do? You can't, you got to find a way to silence these outside voices, silence these people who I call dream stealers. They come to you and they inject their fears on you. And it's up to you if you allow that to seep in and you start believing them as opposed to believing that inner voice in terms of, or believing that inspiration that came to you, it came to you for a reason. Right. You're the one that's supposed to put it out there. So silence them people, man. Get up and do what it is you're supposed to do. Get up and do what it is you inspired to do. If it's to write that screenplay, write the screenplay. It may not be the best screenplay in the world, but you can improve it. There are books. There are tutorials. There's this place, I don't know if you heard about it. It's called YouTube University. Yeah, whatever you want to do, go on there and learn it. Write that script. If it's not perfect, go there. There are few tutorials. Learn how to write that screenplay. Nowadays, the millennials are out there shooting movies with this. With their iPhones, and they're uploading it immediately. You have young folks becoming millionaires doing this stuff. So there's no excuse. This is not back in '85 what I'm talking about, when the camcorder first came out. Everyone walking around with a camera today, right here in your pocket. Pick it up, do that, live that dream, get out there and do something, man. We're not in that time where we got to make excuses anymore about, well, the opportunity is not there and you're lacking this and you're lacking that. you know, no more excuses. Get up and do it.
Get it done. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you this. This broadcast came about because someone got up and started a radio station. The same guys that allowed people to pay-per-view last night and to show the videos on the stage at the Arama Awards. One of the guys in that group, by the name of TC, started a radio station called Flex FM some 14 years ago. And him and a couple other people got together, started the station. And he called me up and he said, Stu, I have a spot for you. Incidentally, he was the first person to put me on the radio as a DJ. Something that I never saw myself doing, something that I just used to listen to him and love the way that he mixed. And I went home one day and I said, I need to make some remixes. Didn't know the first thing about making remixes. Got a DJ software, started making some remixes. I sent them to him. I called him up one day, asked him to meet me. He listened to them. And the next day I heard some of them on the radio. And I was like, oh! And he did a DJ competition and he invited me to be on it. And in fact, he invited me to co-host with him one day. He set me up because he said, yeah, man, set up your stuff. And he goes, all right, I'll be right back. Just start playing. And I was like, what? Yeah, man, don't worry about it. And I shook like a leaf for that entire hour. Nobody could see me. They could just hear me playing music. I shook like a leaf. To this day, I still know two of the DJs that were in that studio that day that are still laughing. And here I am. Because he invited me to be a part of his station after he started it. And I was doing what everybody else was doing and playing music. And I said, no, I need to do something a little bit different. And I started talking. Incidentally, I started doing multimedia broadcasts, this video thing. I started doing this with the gentleman that owns Pulse Media Group back when it was the music, the DML TV, the Music Links TV. And we did a Friday night broadcast live on the internet before it became a thing. And I've been doing this ever since. And so, just because the opportunity arose and somebody said, hey, come, let's do this. We never know where it's going to take us. But because we have that little bit of a flame inside of us, somebody will see it. And somebody will encourage it. Somebody will stoke that little fire, fan it, and watch it grow. I talked to TC today, and he'll say the same thing all the time. I saw in you what you didn't see.
In yourself. Mm-hmm.
And so I put you on the radio. I put you on the spot. And I never regretted it at one moment in time. And here I am today. I hosted the very last Miss Jamaica, Florida, co-hosted the very last Miss Jamaica, Florida. And I was like, I had never seen myself on a stage doing something like that. I had the people that did the pageant as my guests. And so having these experiences, having these interactions, just like we're having right now, has helped to mold me and also helped to share my voice with others as I would share others' voice with people that I've started to hear. And so I say that to say this. we all have a little bit of creativity in us. The moment we tap into it and find that one person that will truly be an encouragement, then we can go to places we've never imagined. Here with me tonight is someone who has done such a thing and is continuing to do such a thing. That necklace that you were wearing last night, I wish you had it on today, because I'm pretty sure somebody would want it or want one like it.
Oh, I didn't make that also.
Yes, I heard when you said it. And people, tap into your creativity, because through it and with it, you'll make a difference in at least one life. And that one life will be so inspired that they'll go on to make a difference in someone else's. And when you know what happens when you drop a pebble in a pond, you will create ripples. No matter how small, you will create ripples. And you're here for that. Collectively, though, we'll make waves. Curtis, you have a website, you have social media. How can other creatives that would want to connect with you, how can they reach you? Or even just people that are inspired and want to see some of the things that you do.
Okay, if you want to get in touch to see more of what I've done over the course of time, visit my website at henrymediaworks.com. That's henrymediaworks, one word, .com. That's my website. You can find me on Instagram. Go to my podcast channel at Caribbean Chat. That's with 2 T's. Caribbean Chat, CHATT, with 2 T's. You can find me on YouTube. Please go there, check out a couple of my videos, and do subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Help me take my numbers up. Also, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Look at the preview for the movie. Those on the radio who missed it, you can find that also on YouTube. Or if you go to the website, it will give you the link. You can find that. The name of it is Urban Heartbreak. That is also on YouTube, just the trailer for the movie. And lots of other stuff. I have some other stuff going on, but it's not too much pumping right now. This is one of my shirts that I did back in the day. I also had an apparel line, but that isn't where it's supposed to be right now. So I'm not, going to pump that too much. Mm-hmm. But going back to my poetry, let me show you here. I did take a couple of the words and put on the shirt.
Yeah, I see that. The land of the steel band and calypso, beautiful women, soca, and limbo.
Limbo. Yes, that is an excerpt from a poem, which was the first poem I wrote. Someone sanctioned me to write a poem for a book that they were doing. And I said, but I don't write no poetry. She said, okay, you'll have 2 months. So I said, okay, all right. And I actually sat down, I did nothing. And then she asked me again. I said, I'm so sorry, I didn't do anything. She said, well, you have another month. And then it came down again. She said, you have a week. And she wouldn't give up. And then eventually I came up with a piece and I said, I'm so sorry, you're going to have to settle for 1. She said, but I told you I needed 2. She said, you have a day. And I went back and I wrote a second piece. She refused to give up on me. I came up with the 2 pieces, and this is the first one. So go to the website, look me up, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully next time you all see us, he'll be on my channel and we'll be kicking it back and forth.
I'm down for it.
Okay, my brother.
I want to thank you again, Curtis, for taking the time out to be here to share off yourself, to give us a little bit of insight into who you are and give us a little bit of an introduction, because we know this is not the last we'll see of you or hear of you or hear from you. I do encourage people to check out Caribbean Chat, 2 T's.
Yes.
Don't sleep on it, especially if you have links to the Caribbean. And your link is friend, family member, and foe. Whatever the link, connect. Once you're listening to me, you're already connected. So, hey, what's one more? And everybody loves the Caribbean anyway. So, see what's in store. Caribbean Chat. Look him up, subscribe, follow Curtis, check out the website. Henry Media Works.
Henry Media Works.
Yeah. I was on it earlier too. HenryMediaWorks.com. That's what we do here. Community and Finance Night. Yeah, those of you that are listening in, you might have missed out on hearing the trailer for Urban Heartbreak. I think I can play it again for you. I believe I can, because I am creative that way. And outside of that, I'm just determined that way. So let me see if I can drop this in here and do like a thing here. All right, so people, I'm going to drop this trailer real quick for you all and then close out the night with a little musical therapy. I want to thank you all. Thank you again, Curtis. We'll be in touch. Much love, brother. Welcome to the family.
Thank you so much, bro. Peace and blessings.
All right. Let me do this.
Do some good with your lifestyle.
I ain't never getting married. Look at them goddamn basketball players. Marry some shit they just met. 6 months later, Me, I can't see me marrying no stranger, Chief.
Kelly, stop! Kelly, stop! You wasting my time right now, okay? Get a damn job. Get your shit together. Get your money up. Then come and try to talk to me,
Get my money up. Really? Yo, I'm not done.
Yes, you are done. You're done, Calvin.
You heard what she said?
Why you coming out here like we still friends?
Over. It's been over.
If you love her so much, Cal, then why don't you go back out there and get her then, man?
Let me show you something.
How long are you gonna punish yourself, man?
Urban Heartbreak. Ladies and gentlemen.
I love what we're remembering, but a heartache to forget.
Yes. The voice of Curtis B. Henry. Let me go ahead and show you his face once more, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Don't forget that face. Especially if you're in the South Florida area. When you see him on the road, tap him on the shoulder. Don't pull him locks, you know. Yeah, man might vex.
Oh, they never see that. Yeah, they never see that.
Yeah.
Tie up behind it.
But yeah, it's him. And if you're cute, he might let you play in his beard. I don't know. Kicking things off in musical therapy tonight. A guy who presented last night by the name of Brimstone. And I think this track is fitting. It's called Never Quit.
Never give in.
It's time for musical therapy.
Try and you fail. Never you fail to try again. Just try again. Cause a winner never quit. No. Not quitter they will never win. Quitter never win. Try and you fail, never you fail to try again. Just try
competition, two road that before way. And you're never happy to live, it's an uphill journey. Oh, nothing good in a life never yet come easy. We have to fight to survive from we was a little baby. Challenges in life where we have to embrace it. And if you think you have the biggest problem, you must be crazy. If you try and you fail, never you fail to try again. Try again. Cause a winner never quit, no. And a quitter they will never win. Quitter never win. If you try and you fail, never you fail to try again. Try again. Cause a winner never quit, no. And a quitter they will never win. Quitter never win. Sometimes you try a lot of things and a lot of things fail you. Never ever think of life as a failure. Enough time you pray and you think that God not hear you. When you think him not around, at that time him them near you. Just hold on to the most time I tell you, send and let go. Don't let go. I say the devil will tempt you until you feel yourself down. No matter how you have it hard, someone have it worse than you. Life journey goes on, yeah, without you. So if you try and you fail,
deep words there.
Never you fail to try.
Artist goes by the name Brimstone.
Just try again.
The track is called Never Quit.
Cause a winner never quit, no.
Just to let you know, Curtis, you have 2 more subscribers. The bass is growing.
If you try and you fail, never you fail to try again.
Win or lose, this is my game to play. Right or wrong, I'll play it my way. And if I make mistakes, it's my own heart that breaks.
This lady right here,
Got to find my way of life.
given recognized for 40 years in the music industry last night at the International Reggae and World Music Awards. Her name is Joanna Marie.
I only have one love to give.
Her rendition of One Life to Live.
No matter what he asks, he touches me and makes me his. Oh yeah, now we're in love.
This is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew.
Win or lose, this is my game to play. Right or wrong, I'll play it my way. And if I make mistakes, it's my own heart that breaks. I've got to find my way of life, myself alone. I only have one life to live. I only have one love to give.
talk about words for inspiration, listen to this story. True story, you know. Because I know this guy personally. His name is Pete Starr.
To be strong enough.
We went to the same high school. He's a year behind me. True story.
Yeah. One day I told my father I wanted to be a pilot. And he said, son, with grades like that, the only thing you're gonna fly is a kite. And that talk still drives me today. Imagine not thinking you're man enough. Then you have to raise a baby boy to be strong enough. In a world full of obstacles, doing his best, no time for tomorrow. Gave me all the tools I need not to borrow. That's why I love my father. I'm not afraid to make you hear it loud. Love my father. You're a true example of a king, no doubt. Love my father. Although you're gone, you'll always be around. That's why I love you, Papa. My journey wasn't easy, no, but your lesson saved me. And when the doctor got tough, you never leave me. That's why I rate you sincerely. You taught me daily to be bold and strong and take care of my love, my father. I'm not afraid to make you hear it loud. Love my father. You're a true example of a king, no doubt. Love my father. Although you're gone, you'll always be around. That's why I love you, Papa. Yeah, the fathers are important. So we have to do that one here for all the fathers.
People like you, Curtis, that have taken on the mantle. Seven times, Curtis.
I'm not afraid to make you hear it loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much more we need to learn from Curtis. But Pete Starr, his track is called Daddy. It tells you the story. Only thing he would fly is a kite today. He's a commercial airline pilot right here in the United States, in one of the major passenger airlines. The words of a father, the words of someone to inspire you to do just what you set out to do. This is where we part company tonight. I want to thank you each and everyone for your support. Thank you for sharing. Thank you to the affiliates. One Harmony Radio, NIE Radio, the Foundation Radio Network, Island Worldwide, Mix102.com, Earth 96 FM in Jamaica. Thank you very much. Truly appreciate love each and every one of you. As we part company, remember, look out for members of your community. Your community is not just a development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stew, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Catch me on Saturdays for the Saturday Stew on Reggae Global Radio. Different kind of vibe, 8 p.m. Eastern. You know, this is how we do. Alright? Take care of yourself. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you, wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a good night. Be good. If you can't be good at it. I'm out of here. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot, where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.